AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Oh man, yeah. What's good?
Varnell Hill, did you miss me?
Did you miss me?
Did you miss me?
Yeah. Listen, man, we in the building. Y'all already know how we do AllBall TV live, man. My brother Flea, Fabian is handling some things, but he's always here in spirit. First and foremost, Flea, before we get started, we hope everybody's staying cool. The weather is insane. Today was 100. I think tomorrow's gonna be in the upper 90s. I think after tomorrow we get a little break, the 80s, and then it goes back down to the 60s. Just real quick, New York City, it's insane. You can't cut the air off. It's nuts. How are you doing in Houston, and how's that weather looking in Houston?
This is regular, bro. I've been down here a decade now. This shit regular, man. This shit's so regular. So when I started hearing about y'all getting 95 and 100-degree weather, I absolutely knew niggas like you and everybody else is gonna be like, yo, it's hot. It's too hot. But 95 to 100 down here in June, that's regular. We waiting for July and August for it to really get nasty. So, but yeah, everybody stay cool.
Yes.
Get them ACs rocking. Fuck your light bill. You got to turn that AC on. It's time. You know what I mean? Don't even worry about that light bill. Worry about it when it gets here. Turn that AC on, man. Get it rocking.
So y'all heard my brother Flea, man. Listen, from AllBall TV, man. Listen, everybody, God willing, stay cool. Drink as much water as possible. Stay out that sun, and hopefully everybody is all right, because this heat wave for these next couple days is very serious. Right. But today, live evening with Flea and AllBall. Listen, we got some great topics, Flea.
Let's get to it. Big shout out to the chat, everybody in the chat.
Oh man, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all know the drill, man. Hit that like button. Please share, like, subscribe. It only takes that. That's not even a second. That's it. Subscribe to the page.
I think I seen Bossman in the cut again too. Bossman, we love you, OJ.
Nice.
Yes,
now
sir.
remember, I can't. So Flea, you might have to shout him out. I can't see the chat. Well, whatever's going on.
I got it.
All right, Bossman, love you.
King's Speech is a member now. I love it, big dog. You know you our brother. You a faithful AllBall member. And it looks like King's Speech has made that plunge and become an AllBall TV member. So we absolutely appreciate that, King's Speech, for us.
Yes. Big shout out King's Speech. Big shout out everybody that's a member. Big shout out everybody that always shows up in the chat, shows love. Y'all know y'all all family. If we could, we'd shout all y'all out. But before me and Flea gets going, I just want to run down the topics we're going to be discussing today. So we have a lot of Knicks content today. Y'all know Knicks Rehab. That's what we do every day. We definitely discussing the head coach's situation. We definitely discussing Flea. Jason Kidd is not off the table. Also, did we say no to KD because we are going after Giannis? Listen, that is a big question. Also, Jay Will, Draymond, a lot of other athletes have said this before, Flea. The season should be shorter. I can't wait to discuss that.
You'll be surprised at my take.
Wow, I can't wait. And we definitely going to end the show off with, listen, man, Shams already breaking a lot of news today. It's been some trades already. I know the NBA draft is tomorrow. So we definitely going to be talking about that. But let's get right to it, because we know our family, they don't want to hear us talk all that bullshit. They want to hear us talk about the Knicks. So, Flea, the Knicks are still searching for a head coach. Word is, they are going to interview Minnesota Timberwolves assistant head coach Micah Nori. Is that how you say it?
I think you did. I think you did your thing with that one.
Okay, Micah Nori. My apologies, sir, if I'm mispronouncing your name. Flea, I gotta ask you. Minnesota Timberwolves assistant head coach. He's going to be interviewed. Now, we all know everybody can be interviewed. That doesn't mean you're going after that person or you actually want that person. Interviews can be a little tricky. Your opinion, how do you feel about the Knicks still searching for a head coach and interviewing the assistant head coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I mean, at this point, I guess we got to commend them on doing their due diligence, right? Taking their time, not rushing into anything. Like, I think I got to stay consistent with what I said about this being one of the biggest hires in Knicks history, right? We hit a certain point with this team, and now we trying to go to the next level. We couldn't do that with Tibbs, and so we're trying to bring the next guy in to take us to that next level. And I think, you know, doing your due diligence, getting in front of everybody, hearing what everybody got to say, you know, because you could get blown away, right? This Mike Nori guy could come into the interview and blow you away. Sam Cassell could walk in and he'd be like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you was this prepared to be a head coach, Sam." So I'm just throwing names out there, right? Like, so
Right.
I think it's the right thing to do, right? Go out there, interview guys, see what guys are talking about, see, you know, check the temperature with everybody. But it just doesn't feel like they have a guy in mind, right? I guess that's maybe Jason Kidd. I guess, you know, they saying Mike Brown had the best interview thus far. So, you know, I don't know who the preference is in terms of the front office and for the players. But, you know, as of right now, I like the fact that we taking our time and looking at this thing. I'll be honest, you know, initially when the fire happened and, you know, it just seemed like we was just out there blind leading the blind, I was concerned, right? I was concerned, but I'm watching a lot of the things that's going on in the Eastern Conference right now in the NBA. And yes, we need a coach, but, you know, at this point, I think we bring a coach in, I think we're going to be fine because there's a lot of shit going on in the Eastern Conference right now that is, you know, it's favorable for us as a Knicks organization. So, not too familiar with Mike Nori. I know he's the assistant coach for the Timberwolves. I know he got an opportunity to coach Karl Anthony Towns. So he's had the opportunity to coach great players. He's with Ant-Man right now, with Julius Randle, obviously. So I got to do some homework on him, but that's not my first choice. Definitely not. But I like the Knicks, you know, making sure that we make the right hire. So I'm happy with us taking our time and doing what we got to do.
Great point. You know me. What you just said, I have no pushback, but I don't like it. I don't understand why he gets an interview because I don't think he should get the job. Why haven't I heard about Bryant getting an interview? Why haven't I heard about Sam Cassell getting an interview? I'd rather other people get an interview. This guy, for me, Flea, is not the guy for the job. But I told you, I think maybe last week, a couple shows ago, we don't have to be in a rush because Flea, you said we have to get this thing right.
Got to get it right, OJ.
Remember, the season. All right, the season starts in October, so I guess training camp has to be at least September.
Yeah. So August is preseason football, and
Okay,
then
right.
football starts
in September.
Labor Day weekend, and
Right.
then by the time end of September, October comes, we getting into preseason and shit like that, and then the season usually starts like what, Halloween or a little bit after Halloween, like that first week of November.
Right. So the end of October. So for me, like I told you, we still in June. For me, I think as long as we have a coach by, I would guess maybe the first, second week of August, I think we'll be fine. This is the plan that you continue to talk about, and now it shows me that they do have a plan. They really do have a plan. We may not know it. I think they're being low and quiet and sneaky about it, which I think they have to because the hate on the Knicks is insane and out of control. So I think, you know, they're just interviewing guys maybe to throw everybody off, but also, you know, you have to show that you're looking for a head coach. You have to, you know, go through the proper channels. This guy here, I'm being honestly, I wouldn't have gave him an interview, but I get it. But there is a plan in place. We have to get this thing right. They are taking their time. But like I said, for me to not hear certain names get interviewed is a little weird to me. So it just goes to show you, I guess Johnny Bryant and Sam Cassell is just off the table.
I would look at it like this, OG. You may need to like kind of change how you thinking about that a little bit and follow what I'm saying. It may not be some of these fly names that we know. It may be a name that we don't know. Like Jordan Ott, and I don't know if I got it right, but Jordan Ott is the Phoenix Suns head coach. There's a reason they taking a chance on that dude. There's a reason, right? You know, we didn't think Adrian Griffin could be a great head coach, and he winds up, you know, getting fired, but he was 30-13. So he wasn't a bad coach. Like there's certain guys out there that we just don't know if they're gonna be a good coach or not. And then you put him in that spot and you like, oh shit, okay, these, you know, this guy's solid. So I don't want you to get too down on the fact that maybe we're not interviewing a lot of big names. There's not a lot of big names attached to this job. But at the same time, OG, the coaching guard is kind of changing now, right? When you start looking around, you know what I'm saying? When you start looking around, OKC just won the championship with Mark Dagnall. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's changing a little bit. So we got to be open to possibly getting somebody in here that we don't know shit about, but he might be a damn good coach.
That's a great point. But, you know, for me, you're just the OKC thing, and congratulations to them. NBA champions, you know, you can't see, you get, no matter how you feel about that, whether it's positive or negative, hey, they champions.
They're the
So big shout out to them. But, you know, that head coach over there, you know, me, Flea, I'm always a stickler, and I'm always gonna, you know, be devil's advocate. You ain't got to be a super great head coach when you got a crew like that. That's just me.
When you say that shit.
We ain't got to argue that. Reason why I'm saying that is because our Knicks, I think we're going to need somebody that's damn near exceptional, Flea. I'm being honest. It doesn't have to be a big name. You're correct. But I don't think we could just get anybody. Like, seriously, I think we have an opportunity to do something special. That now you see how the East, how things are starting to pan out. We should be the best team in the East. And what can ruin that is a head coach. And that's
head coach. Right.
And that's a great transition. Flea, today on ESPN, big shout out Brian Windhorst. People may not like him, but listen, he has information, he does his thing, and he said something, and I can't wait to get your response. He said today on First Take with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, he said everybody that the Knicks hollered at signed an extension. Udoka.
Not surprised.
Right. Huh?
Not surprised at all.
Right.
Not surprised.
Right. But there's one that didn't sign an extension. Jason Kidd. And then he went to say Jason Kidd isn't off the table. He lost his lead assistant.
I just told you about Shamgar.
Right. You said now, so how perfect is that? Shamgar comes back home and he's on the coaching staff with Jay Kidd in New York. Listen,
Yo,
Flea.
chill. Just chill. God, Shamgar back in Manhattan.
I'm going to say it again. Everybody the Knicks went after, as far as head coaches, got an extension except Jason Kidd. So that's not off the table. But also, word is, Flea, Jay Kidd really wants the head coaching job for the Knicks. These are rumors. They say he really wants that job. He may have to force his way out. Flea, I got to ask you. This might be the plan. How do you feel about Jason Kidd with Dallas not getting an extension? And now, you know, it's reports coming out that he really wants this job. Should he force his way out to get this head coaching job? What do you think should happen in this scenario?
If he wants to be here, then he need to open his mouth and say, yo, I want to be in New York. For sure. You know, do what you got to do. Players do it all the time. Kevin Durant just did it for the 10th time. Right? Like, like these guys just do it. And there's no, you know, there's slight repercussions, but guess what? When they go to wherever they go and they win, it mum's the word, right? People were so pissed off at Kawhi Leonard about how that situation unfolded in San Antonio. He goes to Toronto. Toronto ain't won shit. Canada ain't won shit. He goes and wins the championship. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, guys get kicked in their back all the time for deciding what they want to do. Let these head coaches, if they want to say, this ain't the spot for me no more, let me boogie. Dallas had the best medical staff. They fired the head guy of the medical staff. He's the head medical staff guy for the New York Knicks now. Go figure, right? You said a bunch of stuff about them not signing the extension. They traded Luka. I think that was that's. I don't think that he wanted that, right? And now I just read that they're about to lowball Kyrie. And so now if Kyrie gets lowballed, right, and he decides to say he comes back healthy, comes back looking like Kyrie Irving, and now says, I'm out of here. Now, how do you feel, Jason Kidd? Right? So let's get ahead of that. Let's get ahead of that and say, yo, time here was great. Love y'all. Y'all drafted me as a young kid. Y'all gave me opportunity to be a head coach. Finals run, all that. It was great. Love y'all. I gotta go. I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with him coming over to New York City.
Listen, I think this is the plan. I think the Knicks are behind the scenes. And eventually Jason Kidd is going to be the head coach. Think about this, Fleet. If you're Jason Kidd, I don't care what nobody says about Luka. If you're a head coach, you don't want your best player being traded, especially if it's not discussed with you.
No.
The Dallas Mavericks did not discuss that with Jason Kidd. That happened behind his back, right? So now you realize, okay, I really have no say-so or no power. Y'all just traded my guy. Remember, he's an extension of me. And as great as AD is, if you're Jason Kidd, who would you rather coach? A guy that been in the league 5-6 years, or a guy that has 10+ years? Like, so for me,
got injured the first 2 days in the uniform, or the first day in the uniform, excuse me.
Exactly. So I think Jason Kidd seeing that, it probably won it out. But now, I don't care what nobody say. I think a lot of coaches, their dream job is to coach the Knicks, especially if they have a decent roster. Of course, you don't want to coach the Knicks if the roster is shit. But if you see, okay, they kind of right there, Jason Kidd seen that spot open up, and he says to himself, I want that job. Jason Kidd, if you listen and watch AllBall TV, which I hope you do.
You do. Jason's watching right now. What's up, kid?
Force your way out of there. Force your way out of there. Simple and plain. You play for the Knicks, just like you play for Dallas. Much respect, but they don't want you over there. They don't respect you over there. Force your way out of there. I really think that Jason Kidd will be the Knicks' next head coach. I just think, Flea, that it's so tricky. It's so sensitive. Because remember, Dallas right now is under a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. The eyes is on them, Flea. You trade Luka for AD. He gets hurt the first game he plays. He's out for the season, right?
Stop right there, OG. I got a question for you.
Let's
Stop
go.
right there. I got a question for you. What job has more pressure? The Dallas job or the Knicks job? Because you was about to get in your bag about Dallas, and I understand the bag you was about to get into, and that's you absolutely right. You trade your best player. You coming off a finals run, 2 seasons ago. You trade for AD, Kyrie, Clay, like that roster over there. You got those young bigs over there, that roster over there is sweet. But like you said, there's a lot of pressure. Then you look over to the Knicks job. One of the best runs in 25 years. They fired a guy that set the culture and put us in place to start elevating. Now, Nick Faithful, like you, myself, people in the chat are expecting things. The world is expecting things in the Knicks. What spot got the most pressure?
This is going to sound crazy, but it's not even close. The Dallas Mavericks.
It's not even close.
And let me explain why. If Jason Kidd becomes the next head coach for the New York Knicks, he doesn't have to win, even though we are expecting him to win. He doesn't have to win the first year. I think he's going to get that grace period just like Tom Thibodeau. What the Dallas Mavericks did, Flea, trading Luka for Anthony Davis, that's all the pressure in the world. You got the #1 draft pick. We already know who's going to be the #1 draft pick unless you trade it. It's Cooper Flag. I think the Dallas Mavericks has the most pressure because look what happened to that city. Now you have Nico. To me, I think it's a mess. I think J. Kidd needs to get from up under that. Because just imagine, what if AD goes down again? Remember, a lot of those guys are injury prone. We don't wish that on nobody. But you have Kyrie, you have Clay, you have AD, you have Lively. Those guys are injury prone. It's hard for those guys to stay on the floor. So, Flea, just imagine being J. Kidd and you get another catastrophic injury. And now you have another bad season. Compared to you come over here to New York and we over here popping. Listen, I really think I'm not gonna allow nobody to not have or hold Dallas to the fire. No, it's pressure over there. Y'all traded for Luka, right? Y'all traded for Luka. We all agree. If the Dallas Mavericks are healthy, they are champions. We all agree to that. So now you got to go get it done. So I think that's the team with the most pressure. I know New York and New York City and the town and what we just did. People think that's the most pressure. No, I think we didn't have Luka and trade him.
There was a lot of mixed feelings. Now that we like maybe a month or so post the Tibbs trade. I mean the Tibbs firing. We don't got to get in the whole if I like Tibbs and all that. That's not where we at no more. But to be honest, there was mixed emotions throughout the Knicks, fan base about the firing of Tibbs. Not everybody liked it, but a lot of people did. So there was so much mixed emotions about it. That's why I feel like whoever walks through the door, right? The young coach with no experience, I think has a heavier load to carry as opposed to the championship level guy that walks through the door that has championship as a player, been in the finals as a coach, right? Like he walks through the door with a little bit more cachet. But listen, man, the expectations from me, you, our beloved people in the chat, the rest of the world, New York Knicks fans, all that. I don't give a fuck if it's Jason Kidd or if it's Johnny Bryant. That dude walks through the door. We just coming off of a conference finals run. We just watched the guy that was kicking our ass in the conference finals go down in the NBA finals, and he will not be around next season. He won't be around. A lot of the guys that move the needle for their teams are not going to be around. We got to strike while the iron is hot, like you always say. We have to nail this year. There's so much like that we could just kind of pause right in there and find ourselves right back in the Eastern Conference Finals if we do what we're supposed to do.
Listen, I totally agree. And just real quick, going back to Jason Kidd, if y'all put yourself in Jason Kidd's shoes, like really think about it. Y'all trade my best player for a player that people don't think is better, and then I don't get no extension yet. What are y'all telling me? Remember, okay, I want to go to the Knicks. The Knicks want me. Normally what happened is, oh no, we ain't letting that happen. What do you want? We got you. So for me, I think Jason Kidd is the right guy for this job. I really do. He's young enough. He has enough swag. He's a champion. One of the best basketball players as far as the point guard position that we've ever seen. He could definitely help Brunson out. So listen. But he has to force.
I like how you put Shamgar on his coaching staff already. I like how you put guard on his coaching staff already. I love that.
Listen, because now we have a guy that's one of the greatest ball handlers we ever seen. He can help a lot of these dudes with ball handling.
OG, go marry Shamgar. Y'all know what I mean. Go spend a lot of time with Shamgar. OG Anunoby. Do it right now. Right now, bro.
Listen, Kobe did it. God rest his soul. So for me, I think this thing, we talked about it. Just imagine you have a coaching staff with a J Kidd, a Shamgar. You may go get another young guy, another old vet guy. Like you balance out that coaching staff with some young, with some youth, with some OGs. Like I really think this is the plan that you was talking about, Fleet. And of course, when great players come together, it takes a little time. It takes a little time. Like, because I'm pretty sure Jason Kidd and the Knicks, when they do discuss, it's like, hey, what's the coaching staff going to be like? Or are you allowing me to bring my own coaching staff? Because we can't allow what just happened. You can't allow Maurice Cheeks and no.
Mark Bryant.
Right. So I really
we
think
had Othello Harrington on our coaching staff. I love
Bro.
Othello. Big shout out. We drafted him. Big shout out. But God,
Bruh, listen, I'm going to say it again. Jason Kidd is not off the table. Every coach that the Knicks went after, the team signed him to an extension. Jason Kidd did not get signed to an extension by the Dallas Mavericks. He is not off the table. He wants to be a Knicks head coach. That is the rumors. And I heard Flea, he wants it bad. Pause. He really wants this head coaching job. But like they said, he's going to have to force his way out. He's going to have to force his way out. Last point, Flea. If Jason Kidd becomes the Knicks' next head coach, is it championship or bust for the first season?
got to see the roster, OG. Got to see the roster first. Got to see the roster.
Oh, no. Hold on. No. I ain't let you. No. I'm not letting you get away with that.
All right, fine.
Halliburton. Hold on. No, because we can break it down a little bit.
Okay.
Halliburton is injured. Get well soon, my brother. I always say we don't wish that on anybody.
No,
As much as I can't stand the pace of the we wish that on nobody. We want everybody at their full strength and healthy, so it's no excuses.
Yeah, so we can compete. Yeah.
Halliburton is out. Jason Tatum is out.
Dame.
Like you said, Philly, who we don't respect Philly. Cleveland Cavaliers, we see their kryptonite. No matter how good they are in the regular season, now there's some rumors and talks about Garland. So that might be a mess over there as well. All that being said, Flea, there's no, if Jason Kidd is this head coach, we should be in the finals this upcoming season.
We should be a 1 or 2. We should be one of the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference next season. No question about it. Something in my gut says Philly is going to come back a completely different team. Something in my gut says that. I said it last year, and I wound up being flat out dead. Y'all laughed me out for the first half of the season. Like, Flea, didn't you say Philly was going to be good? Look at these niggas. But something in me again is saying they might be in the mix a little bit. I don't know what the mix is, but y'all know when Joel Embiid is healthy and rocking and rolling, can't nobody fuck with him. Y'all know that. We all know that. So I think we should be one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, if not the best, the way things are shaking out. But everybody else thinks that too, though, OG. That's why we got to step, because everybody thinks. Orlando's coming into next season thinking that they could be a 1, 2, or 3 seed. So is Detroit, right? All of these teams that were kind of knocking at the door a little bit. Cleveland thinks that they're going to come back next year after winning 60-plus games and do it again. So you're right. It's open. But there's some other teams out there right now that really feel like they could sneak in and be in the mix. The Knicks got to snuff that shit out. Got to snuff that shit out. So, yes, to answer your question, is a championship a bust for Kidd? No. I'm going to go with no.
Love you. I totally disagree.
I love you too.
You know, yeah, listen, I totally disagree. Now, if Boston was fully healthy, Indiana was fully healthy, then I understand what you're saying. But with Halliburton and Tatum being out for the full season, Boston now,
is a different team. I'm sorry to cut you off. Boston
right.
They just got mixed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Them not having Drew Holiday, Porzingis is about to be out of here. I'm going to be honest, Lee, this is the time. Now, like I said, if a young head coach come in, maybe, but if Jason Kidd comes in here with the cachet that he has, he just came from a conference finals and a finals. He's a champion. Top 5 greatest point guard we've ever seen.
Yes, sir.
We consider him a great head coach, a great basketball mind.
Sure.
Remember, firing Tibbs, we said that's what cost us getting to the finals. So now if we're getting a better coach in there, Flea, there should be no more excuses. The way things are panning out, Giannis is unhappy. Listen, I don't care what nobody says. This is our time. If the right head coach walks in that door, it should be championship or bust. And I hope the coach understands that. Now, I'm not saying if we don't win a championship, that person should be fired. Right. But Flea, if it ain't a game 7 in the conference finals and it goes down to the wire, or we get to the finals and lose, listen, it should be no less than that.
Let me ask you a question before, and I know this wasn't the topic, right? But I've been seeing my OG post some things. He better not run from this. This was the worst NBA Finals ever. Our brother is getting close to 50, so he's been around a long time, y'all. He's been watching hoops for a very, very, very long time, longer than some of us been born. He said, y'all, this is the worst NBA Finals ever. This thing went 7 games. All of these games were great games, aside from maybe 2 blowouts. Aside from maybe 2 blowouts, all these games was great.
Hold on. You up here?
Hold on, let me get to my question. Would the Knicks have given us a better series?
A way better series. All right, let me explain. So for one, there was one good game in a 7-game series.
Game
and
one?
that was game 1. You know that. You can't keep a straight face without saying that.
I know. I'm not gonna let you do this to me no more. The NBA Finals was great. I loved it. You did it.
Listen, we love the game,
Yes.
but the NBA Finals this season from all aspects was horrific. From the commentating, Stephen A. Smith and it was terrible.
Richard Jefferson should never do that again.
Right.
They should never, ever have Richard Jefferson up there again.
Please. The commentating was horrific. The promotion was horrific. There was no promotion. That, like I said, back in the days of the course when you got the trophy in the it was none of that.
That's fire.
The games took too long, 3 days. There was no game on the Father's. For me, it was bad. I'm sorry.
You talking about
right. I'm talking about everything. Right.
You talking about
everything. And then even when you get to the games they felt like regular season games. Game 7 felt like a regular season game. Now we know Halliburton went down, but when you watch blowout after blowout, half-ass game after half-ass game, you just watch OKC get away with murder every play. SGA with the push-off, bullshit phantom fouls. For me, Fleet, it was just a bad finals. And the reason why I say that, of course we know they were worse finals, right? There were a lot of bad finals. But with this one, when people say this is the greatest when it comes to talent, right? This is the greatest era ever when it comes to skill. But then we get a trash finals. That's what I'm saying. Remember, these ain't the plumbers and the guys with jobs that like how they try to disrespect guys. These are the greatest talents you've ever seen. When you talk to some of the current players, they say today, these guys will smoke the old school players. Well, where was that at? In the NBA Finals. Come on, bro, being down 34. So for me, Flea, they dropped the ball on this.
I mean, I understand your sentiments, right? I understand the whole feeling. Because I said it to you after game 2, I think, right? So I'm not gonna run from that. I was like the feeling, like the swag,
right,
and how we feeling about the biggest stage in basketball for niggas that love basketball. It didn't feel like the NBA Finals. Again, for me, great basketball. I enjoyed the games, but the feel of what we're watching, right? A game 7, I remember vividly 2016 game 7. You know what I'm saying? Golden State versus Cleveland. Like, I remember where I was at, what I was doing, with what TV I watched it on, right? So there's certain, like you said, 2 best words in sports, game 7. It's like, I remember game 7s, how it felt. Game 7, 2013, San Antonio and Miami, right? I remember that game 7. These game 7s, we remember, they're memorable. So yes, it's probably not going to be memorable. You probably remember Halliburton got hurt more than you did about how OKC performed in game 7.
Right.
I just wanted to know if you thought that our New York Knicks would provide 7 games in the NBA Finals. That's what I'm really asking.
Yes, and for me, OKC is not the juggernaut that we all thought they were. I'm just being honest. How many of us, when we came up here before the finals started, we all said Indiana be lucky to get 1 game.
Sure.
They took him to game 7, and in game 6, Halliburton was hurt, and they blew him out. And it looked like game 7 before. How I know if it was a 5th, we all be drunk, but this is what basketball sports is about.
Right.
Halliburton looked like he was about to win the NBA Finals.
Cooking.
Right. Come on now. So
first
for me,
3 to 4 shots he took. 3.
So for me, us having the clutch player of the year, us having a mismatched guy with Cat, where nobody on OKC can guard him. I think the parity, you know, Hartenstein there, so that's a little bit of because he was just with our Knicks. Our fan base, you already know, is nobody can compare. I think the media, just how people hate on the Knicks, I just think it would have just been a whole different. It would have been insane. It would have been insane. And if it did go Game 7, those games would have been a whole lot better. How many times we came back from down 20? How many it was just listen. Our Knicks, we are rooted against so much that it just makes so much drama, and it makes the games that much better, and it makes the games that much interesting. We just have to be honest. A lot of these games wasn't interesting, Fleet. It just wasn't.
I feel you. It just when I look back on it now, when I look back on our season and the moments, the best moments, the tough moments, all of that kind of stuff, everything brings me back to the second round against Boston. And against Boston, you know, we treated that as if it was our championship. We treated that as though, you know, that was the biggest moment of the season. And we still had 2 more series, 2 more rounds to go. And so, you know, and so for me, I just felt like, you know, this coming year, we need to act like we've been here before. We don't need to act like beating Boston is the end of the world. That's our championship. No, getting rid of Boston, we got rid of you niggas. Goodbye. Let's get rid of Indiana and let's get ready for OKC. Right? That's what the mindset should have been. And I feel like just watching the Knicks winning that second round series, we completely, you know, just I don't know, we forgot because the first 2 games of the Indiana series was like, what the fuck are we doing? Right? So
Yeah.
I just want us to go into those kind of spots next year acting like we've been there before and not acting surprised when we win. Right? Let's act like we are a good team. So I just wanted to see what you thought about, you know, what we would have did in the NBA Finals, because I'm on record as saying we would have got swept. I'm on record as saying that.
But right, and you have every right to your opinion, just like we was all on the record saying that Indiana should have been swept. They would have been lucky to win 1 game, and the whole world was wrong. Nobody picked Indiana. I know a couple times I said, you know, the matchup is not as bad as everybody make it out to be, but I also said, and I always have to be honest, I said they'd be lucky to win 1 game, and we was in a Game 7. So for me, if they would have swept Indiana or Indiana would have won 1 game, then I could go with what you're saying. Yo, my Knicks ain't have a chance. But watching that series, we damn sure had a chance. Damn sure had a chance. That's why for me, I'm not picking OKC to repeat. I don't think they're that good. I told you, and I said this during the season. I said, okay, the NBA find a dog. They find their darlings. Just like the NFL, and I make this comparison all the time, Fleet. Just like the NFL.
Leave Mahomes alone. Leave him alone.
No, but it ain't nothing against Patrick Mahomes.
But
because
team,
remember, right? Listen, if the NFL is gonna give you the calls, what you gonna say? I don't want the call. But we all know Kansas City Chiefs gets every single break. And we know. Go ahead.
Is it true? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think I saw a stat earlier today where the Kansas City Chiefs have won the AFC Championship like 9 times this decade.
Bro, listen.
Am I right about that, y'all? Am I
listen,
wrong? Like they said 9 times.
Patrick Mahomes, ever since he's got drafted, he's played nothing less than a Super Bowl or AFC championship.
Like,
right. So it doesn't take away from his greatness or his talent. I'm just saying, you know when
what the chat said, the chat's correcting me 5 times. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Big shout out to Michael James. That's our guy.
Right. You know when the organization wants you to win. The NBA, and it's not taken away from OKC's talent, but we have to admit what OKC gets away with, nobody else gets away with. So I think
did you see Cason Wallace grab
TJ
McCollum's wrist in front of the ref? TJ is dribbling the ball with his right hand because Cason Wallace grabs the left wrist. TJ looks at the ref and is like, and the ref is about to swallow the whistle. And they obviously Cason lets him go. They keep playing. But when I saw it, I was like, wait.
No. Finish it. but then he turns the ball over.
Then he turns it over. Yeah.
Like we can't. Listen. One thing with me, I try to be consistent. Certain things certain things we can't ignore.
That's a fact.
We cannot ignore OKC gets official different than everybody else. I'm sorry. Is it the reason why they won the championship? No, I'm not going to go that far.
That last year?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But this year, from the beginning of the season, it was clear. It was clear they want SGA. It was clear. It was clear, and the Joker almost ruined that.
But this is what I'm saying, OG. For what they pushed or wanted, quote unquote, Joker almost ended that. And quiet as kept. If Hallie don't pop his Achilles, we don't know what the outcome is of that. Right? So
Flea, don't tell us our Knicks ain't got a shot. That's why I say next year, for me, unless we do something crazy and make a crazy trade that don't make sense, there's no more excuses, Flea. Like you've been saying, the team that been to the conference finals the next year, they went to the finals.
They did.
Well, why that history can't work for us?
I would like us to keep that trend. But those teams, and again, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. OG, you correct me if I'm wrong. Those teams, I don't think, made coaching changes. Not one of those teams made coaching changes. So, again, chat, leave me alone. I'm not trying to revive Tibbs, but I'm just saying, if we want to continue the trend, we may be the anomaly that changed coaches, when getting back to that conference finals.
That's a great point. And before we get to the next topic, that's a great point. But also, those teams, the next season, look at now what we don't have to deal with. So as bad as it looks with the coaching change, the two juggernauts that we have major problems with, both of their best players won't play next season. So I think that's almost like a trade-off. That sounds a little crazy. I don't mean it in a disrespectful.
But it makes sense coming from you. I understand.
Right. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but
I got what you're saying.
Us not getting, a great coach. Okay, cool, but no Halliburton, no Jason Tatum, so we don't have to deal with that.
Fucking crazy, this nigga is crazy.
Hold on, Ian. Let's stay there. Listen, great segue, because now look how crazy my mind is going to go.
We thought Fabian put shit together. The way AllBall, this nigga is crazy. What you got, OG?
Our Knicks. Did we say no to Kevin Durant because we have someone else in mind? I'm going to ask again, Flea. We flat out told Kevin Durant, kick rocks.
Go to hell.
Kevin Durant said, rumors, I want to play for the Knicks. The Knicks said, nah, we good. Cool. Flea.
I'm cool.
Is the reason for the Knicks saying no to Kevin Durant is because we going after Giannis? And whatever assets that we would have to get rid of for KD, we have to save that because we're going for Giannis. Do you think that's so?
I think I don't want to put it solely on Giannis, but I think we got a smart GM, right? And I think if we did do what we did, what Phoenix did and what Houston did, then I think you put yourself in a position to hamstring yourself. Right, you kind of hamper yourself with doing what Phoenix did. We ain't in a position to do that. We're not in the spot to do that and think that we can kind of start over and all that. Nah, this ain't that. So I think we're being cautious. I think we're being smart. I think we understand that although Kevin Durant is a big fish, he is not the biggest fish anymore. Right, there are bigger fish out there that It's okay to explore. Giannis is super loyal, right? I go back and forth with my guy. Big shout out to Simon. That's my guy, man. I go back and forth with my brother all the time, right? Because he feels like Giannis is the most loyal guy in the NBA. He ain't going nowhere, right? And his behavior suggests that, right? Over a decade, he ain't going nowhere. Won one championship. Can't seem to get out the first round the last 4 years, but still hasn't gone nowhere. Me, on the other hand, I think that, yo, it's the times, and niggas is gonna get with the times. And if Giannis understands that the rooms that he sits in and the tables that he sits at, like they try to say, the tables that he sits at, all them guys got multiple. They got jewelry, right? They got pieces, right? They got a couple of things. They look down on their hands. There's a couple of things on their hands. Giannis got one, and Giannis is one of the greatest of all time. But the dude is competitive. The dude want to win, and it ain't happening in Milwaukee no more. It's not happening. You can book that. Whoever thinks it's gonna happen in Milwaukee again, it's not happening. They're not about to spin that roster again and figure it out and draft and trade and all that. It's not happening. Window closed. Let's move on. And if Giannis is the guy that we're moving on to, we got to say hell no to KD. Yes, OG. We got to say hell no.
Flea, I'm going a step further. Hell yeah, we said hell no to KD because we going after Giannis.
Okay.
Who would you rather? A guy that probably got between 5 to 7 more prime years, or a guy that got maybe 1 to 2 prime years? It's not even close. It's not even close. We said no to KD because we are going after Giannis Antetokounmpo. And as loyal as Giannis is, think about this, Giannis, if you're watching. Dame is done for the season. You in a market where y'all can't get no plays. Ain't no free agents signing over there. Y'all don't have many assets to where you could make a big splash and trade and get something.
Mm-hmm.
Your only trading piece is Giannis. And Giannis, remember, big shout out Jeff T and his platform, doing great things over there. You know, we don't hate. We show love to everybody. He said it. Giannis wants to compete for championships every year. He said, you want Giannis? Sign his brother. Knicks, go sign his brother. Sign his brother. Giannis wants to be considered one of the greatest to ever play the game. He wants to be spoken about in the likes of the greats. He wants to go down as one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game.
For sure.
You know how you can do that? In New York. If he get a second championship in New York and year after year we're in contention, that does nothing but boost your legacy. Your legendariness. You know, we say that in a minute.
You know, that's my shit. You know, that's legendariness.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Flea, I think, you know, we told KD kick rocks because we are going after Giannis. I'm tired of making it seem like things is a secret. No, the Knicks, we are really trying to make moves.
Let's say he retires tomorrow.
Who?
Giannis. Let's say just for my question. Let's say he retires tomorrow. Where do you have him on your power forward list? Like, and I understand you, my OG, you are a guy that rings matter. You know how to disseminate without the rings, but it matters. You are a guy that says, you don't win shit, I can't put you. So obviously he doesn't have the same amount of rings as Tim Duncan, but where are you putting him in the Duncan, Kevin Garnett,
Dirk Nowitzki,
Chris Webber, Sheed, you know, those names, right? And I'm just throwing names out here at this point. Barkley, Malone, obviously those. You
need to go back, Bernard Kings and all that.
No, you know that middle, right? And so, you know, where does Giannis fall, like presently right now? Like I said, he retires tomorrow. Where do you have him?
He retires tomorrow. I think he's definitely probably maybe top 10. Probably top 10.
Top 10?
Greatest power forwards of all time. I mean, Fleet, I don't like, but if you go with the numbers, like I said, he has a championship, he has a finals MVP, back-to-back
multiple MVPs.
Right. He has the defensive player of the year. And his numbers is out of this world. Listen, he's averaging 30 plus and 10 plus, like he's out of this world.
For 3 years in a row kind of thing.
Right. So you know, put him over Carmelo is going to be tough, right? Wow. Listen, Carmelo at one time was second in points,
behind Kareem.
Right, and what Carmelo did in the league against the greats, but to me, that's where Giannis could be top 5.
That's where I have him, OG. Like he retired tomorrow. I got him top 5. I might even have him nigga top 3. Really, like just in terms of skill, ability, being able to carry, being able to be the best player on the championship level.
So
team.
hold
Like,
on. Let's have this conversation. Tim
okay.
Duncan,
All right.
Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki. Are you taking Giannis over any of those? Like, let's say you have Boston Celtics, Kevin Garnett.
Yep.
You have Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki.
Yep.
You know, San Antonio. Who are you taking Giannis over? And who is he better as far as skill set? Because I don't see that him being better than none of those guys. I'm sorry.
Better.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to jump out there and say better. Right. But Giannis is in the same class as, or is. See, because Dirk sets himself apart because of his ability to shoot the basketball. Right.
Come on, Flea. Yeah, you know the game, Flea.
Yeah, Dirk.
And what he did to get to them teams he beat to get to the finals.
Yeah, like he sets himself apart because he has a skill set that I don't think any of the greatest power forwards really possess. Right? The ability to score at all 3 levels. Dirk could do that.
Right.
Not all of the greatest power forwards can actually do that.
And
because Giannis's motor is just like KG's too, OG.
Right.
It's just like KG's.
But Flea, you know the game. You're a historian. Who's a better basketball player?
Yeah, just talent, natural ability.
And this is not taking nothing away from Giannis. We just having an honest conversation.
Away from Giannis. It's not. It's just. But see, here's my thing. Okay, let's scrap the rings for right now. And I'm not disrespecting winning, right? But for the conversation of the 4 guys that we're talking about right now, let's just scrap the rings. Why can't Giannis compete with Tim Duncan in terms of just individual players?
So for me, I just feel that he's very limited offensively. And I think in today's game where there's not a lot of great, and I want to say this, Fleet, because I love this conversation. I get caught up in this myself. You can't help when you're born. So I'm never going to take away Giannis's talents and how great he is. But we have to be honest. There's no great power forwards today that he has to go up against night in and night out. I give you another question. This is going to sound insane, but that's me. His numbers is better, but I don't know if he's a better basketball player than Anthony Davis and Rasheed Wallace.
Well, you know about you said a name. You said a name that I just, for me, if we have like just a real, Sheed is top 5 for me.
Listen.
Top 5 power forward of all time for me.
Now, hold on, Fleet, stay there. Because what happens is, I don't want to talk about the guys that don't have championships because, like Chris Webber's, the Carmelones, you can't take nothing away from them. But, remember, that ring thing, it means something. We can act like it don't, but that's a real thing.
Yes.
But I know people are going to look at Sheed and he ain't got the numbers and all of this and all of that. But if we're talking about talent, skill set, basketball IQ, just flat out nice. My thing is this. I don't know if I'm taking Giannis over that, and I'm going to be real. People can laugh at Anthony Davis all they want. He has a championship, and when that man is healthy, he's top 5 best players in the NBA. So I'm saying for Giannis, that second ring, Fleet, catapults him over all of that.
Puts him in a different class.
That second ring, Rasheed Wallace, Anthony Davis is nowhere near in the conversation no more. Now the only conversation is Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki. To me, that's what the second ring does. That's why people mad about the ring culture because of this conversation we're having now?
Yes. Because we're trying to have a fair conversation, and I think we're doing a damn good job with it, right? We're trying to have a fair conversation because y'all know OG, I know my OG. This thing could swing completely left, and we could just say Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward of all time as he is, and he got 5 rings, and I don't want to talk about nobody else, right? My OG could very well do that. That's his style. That's what he does. But I think we're having a real good conversation right now because Giannis puts himself in the category of having multiple championships, being the best player on multiple championship teams, right? Like that's that's insurmountable for some of these guys. Right? Kevin Garnett won a championship. I mean, for me, I may argue he was the best player on that team. Pierce won the MVP, but Kevin was everything. He was the anchor on the defense. He was still great offensively. So, but Giannis doing this multiple times, it's like,
yeah. Hey, Fleet, I think Giannis to win a second championship is very important because now, in his mind, which he has every right to feel this way, now the only thing standing between him being the greatest power forward of all time is Tim Duncan. Like I said, now there's no other conversations. He will surpass everybody else, and then now your preference, that's what it would depend on now, between him and Garnett or him and Dirk. But those would be the only. So I think, this is very important. And
is Moses Malone a power forward or a center?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is Moses a power forward or a center? Because if we got him at power forward, we just having. Now we gotta reshuffle
that's why I said top. That's why I said for sure top 10.
Shit, right? Like,
and Fleet, that's why I said for Giannis, that second champ. A lot of guys, that second championship is very important. Listen, when Garnett won that championship in Boston, that's what catapulted him to now you're considered one of the greatest power forwards we've ever seen. Of course, your talent is always going to have you there, but that championship means, oh, you can knock on that door when they slide the peephole. Oh, no, that's KG. Let him in. Right.
Come on, baby.
Right.
No password for you. Yeah.
Right. So you're correct, and I think if Giannis gets another championship, and especially if it happens in New York, the way that will be exaggerated and magnified
is crazy. He might go down one of the greatest ever, right? Get a championship in New York.
Fleet, that might put him in the top 10 greatest basketball players ever. People, I guarantee people will start saying they will start saying he's better than Will. Shaq, bro, I'm just telling you how it goes. Think about it.
Niggas said Wilt and Shaq. First 2 days I was about Wilt and Shaq. Y'all niggas get out of here, man. It's crazy.
I'm trying to like
to get a championship in New York City, being the void for 50 years, right? Like y'all know how people feel about LeBron in Cleveland. He got them a championship. Never buy a beer, a drink. They don't gotta spend shit in that city, right? So I get it.
Flea, great conversation. Let's stay right there.
Yep, I'm right here with you.
Our Knicks. Let's say this is true. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Yo, man, y'all hold us down all the time. Please stay in them comments. Whether we right or wrong, roast us. Please keep engaging. Hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. Please, man.
Appreciate everybody in the chat today.
Flea. If our Knicks, the reason to say no to KD was because of Giannis. Let's say that's all true. Do we go after Giannis no matter the cost? Before you answer, I'm going to ask again. If we said no to Kevin Durant because our eyes is on Giannis Antetokounmpo, do we get him no matter the cost?
I think that's a loaded question. And I think I knew you knew it was a loaded question. It's like, no matter the cost, like, you can't be a fool nowadays, right? Like, you can't gut your lineup.
I mean, you can't be a fool though. Let's
yes,
not.
Okay, right. You're right. Yes, you're right.
You can be a fool.
It is a choice. You're right, OG. You can be a fool. But don't be a new fool. Like, don't be today's fool, right? Like, be strategic. Think about this at any cost. What does that mean, right? How do we analyze it for our team? At any cost. That means if Milwaukee says deal starts around Cat, of course you don't say no. If the deal starts around Brunson, that's when you got to start thinking about, okay, I don't think Brunson in any lifetime should ever hold up a deal for Giannis. But you are talking about comprising a team, putting the team together to get to where we need to be, which is a championship. So I don't think you trade Giannis for Brunson and then just say we're going to figure it out after that. Like Brunson is too of an important piece to what we're doing, right? And I think too much of an important piece to what everybody is doing in the NBA, right? I don't think you're going to win or be at all good if you don't have a solid lead guard. If you don't have a solid lead guard. Boston won last year, but Drew Holiday is special at that position. He ain't Shea, who won this year, right? Denver won a couple of years ago, Jamal Murray. Year before that is Steph. Year before that is Drew Holiday again, right? So I'm just saying, right now, you need that type of guard. So everybody can be on the table but Brunson, I think, because I don't think there is a move to make after you do that, a realistic move to make after you do that, that's going to put us in the same position we need to be.
Flea. So this is going to sound a little nuts, right? But when it comes to getting Giannis, going to Milwaukee, I'm not worried about Brunson being in that trade because Milwaukee is not going to want a 6-foot guard.
Okay.
So I don't think Brunson is going to be in that.
Okay.
Now, whatever it costs, you go get him.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever it costs. Players like that is going to cost, Flea.
For sure.
Simple and plain. Players like that is going to cost. And it can cost you not winning the championship if you don't do what it costs to go get them. So,
Sure.
like you said, now, of course, you can't give up Cat, OG, Bridges, and Deuce for them. But if they're going, okay, we want Cat and Bridges. We want Cat and Deuce and maybe a Kolick with some picks. Flea, I'm saying do whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Do whatever it takes. The front office, Flea, it's not our job on social media to put these teams together.
But we do. A lot of times we do nowadays.
Right. But when people say, well, what's the bench? What's this? Man, the motherfuckers got to worry about that. What we want is go get the best player that's available, especially if they want to be here. Whatever it takes, you go get them. You see what's going on. There's a lot of good players out there that can fill up these spots. There's a lot of good players out there. Look, I like Anthony Simons, a real good player.
After watching them again, I love Andrew Nembhard. I love Aaron Nesmith. I love TJ McConnell. All these guys, all of these guys
Flea
have played great basketball. Keep it real. Halliburton going down now. They might sell on Miles Turner. They might sell on Miles Turner. Andrew Nembhard's price just went up, how he played all season long. Nate Smith's price went up. He couldn't even get off the bench in Boston. This nigga is winning games in Eastern Conference Finals for them. I'm just saying, what you're saying right now is valid. There are, good players out there. Really, really good players out there. Mathurin. Garth, I forgot about Ben Mathurin.
Right.
There's good players out there.
Right.
Sure.
So even if we have to give up a lot for Giannis and we still have the core, let's say we still got Brunson, OG, and Hart, right? Our
brothers in the building. Fabian's here. Fabian's
okay.
Here.
Big Fabian. So Flea, for me, and I leave the difficult part up to you and Fabian. I'm just guessing. If we got to give up Cat, Bridges, and let's say Kolick with some draft picks, I'm doing that. I mean,
it's Giannis.
Right. I'm not. And we still have. And we still have, right. And even if we got to give up another player, right? But we still have, let's say we still have Hart, we still have OG, we still have Brunson. How we can't fit, and now we got Giannis. How we can't fill out roster, or how we can't fill out that roster? You have a lot of players out there. When you look at the players that's available, remember, Flea, we went back and forth with it the other day. You got Marcus Smart that's going to be out there. You got Uber. It's so many good players. And then you're watching teams trade the upgrade. Like I said, that Drew Holiday move, why we couldn't have made a move like that? I'm not saying we have somebody like Anthony, but I'm just saying.
I got what you're saying. That type of move, maybe not
Right.
Drew, but that type of move. Yeah.
Right. So
I
for
mean,
me,
CJ just got moved from New Orleans to Washington.
Thank you.
I highly doubt they want to go forward with CJ, with Smart, with Middleton. There's a bunch of vets over there to sell now. Kelly Olynyk.
Well, Chris Middleton, you know, he opted in, of course, for his 33.
Who wouldn't? Like, I can't be mad at him. Who wouldn't?
Right. But Kobe White, like, there's so much out there. Right, Flea, you brought up Lonzo Ball. The point is this. If we get a Giannis, you know how attractive that's going to be? We feel like with some shooters. So for me, I think we're going to get him at all costs. Like I said, of course, if you want something that's outrageous, of course, no. But I'm going to be honest, Flea. Brunson doesn't have to worry about that. But like I said, if it's Cat, Bridges, Kolick, they might want to throw dudes. Like, I'm being honest, bro. To get the great player, this is what it is. I mean, I know you don't agree to that.
No, but they would try to fuck us though. Excuse my language, I don't mean to say it that harsh.
Yeah.
But they would try to do us dirty, right? Phoenix can call, or Houston can call Phoenix and say, we'll give you Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks. Here's the 10th pick, and that's it. That's all I want. Can I get Kevin Durant? Sure. Mind you, they keep Sengun, they keep Jabari Smith, they keep Tari Eason, they keep Van Vliet, they keep Amen Thompson, they keep Cam Whitmore. Look at the 7 guys I named just now that they were able to keep and give up Kevin Durant. So, like, and I got it. Kevin Durant's older, but don't fuck us every time we want. Every time we want to trade for
with us, it starts with OG and Bridges
and Cat, or OG, Cat, and Bridges. I don't want to talk unless you traded me Brunson and Cat. What?
Yeah. So right. So for me, this Giannis thing is very tricky because you don't want to have a Carmelo Anthony situation all over again. Go ahead,
Tori B is here. We ain't show her no love for an entire hour.
Now remember, you got to tell me I can't see the chat.
I just saw it myself. Like,
big shout out Tori B, the beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant. My apologies to everybody in the chat. I can't see the chat.
Darlene B is here as well. Excuse me.
The beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant Darlene B. The ladies of AllBall TV have been in the building. And ladies, give Flea that and blame it on him because he didn't tell me y'all was in the chat because I can't see the goddamn chat. Big shout out to the beautiful ladies. Yes.
Darlene B, what up? What up?
Darlene Bryant, Tori B, good evening. Fellas, y'all know the drill, man. Say what's up to the ladies and please be very respectful. But yeah, Flea, before we, get to these next couple topics, before we get out of here, the Giannis thing. If we were to trade for him, because I love to hear your opinion on these things. What would you like to give up compared to what they may be asking for? What would be reasonable for you? And hold on, Flea, before you answer, everybody in the chat, please answer this for us. I want to hear y'all answers as well. Maybe Flea can read them out.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab
some of y'all.
I'll grab a couple.
What would y'all like to give up to get Giannis, or do we go get Giannis? But Flea, you go first.
All right, so
what's reasonable for you?
Reasonable. I'm not a reasonable person, but what's reasonable? I guess if the deal started at because you got to be realistic too, right? So I guess if the deal started at like a Hart, and I know I love Josh, so look, right? If the deal started with like a Hart, Cat, McBride, because like I said, we got to be realistic about what they're going to ask for, right? So if the deal looked something like that, and then we start talking about fluffing it with draft picks, yeah. If they wanted Bridges, which I don't know if they would. Bridges is an expiring contract, so maybe they might want Bridges.
Hold on. You love your guy hard. You put him in the trade. You
I
ain't
did.
have. Hold on,
I
hold
did.
on. No, no,
I
no.
did. Listen.
No, 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 no. We ain't gonna do that. Hold on. You didn't have to. You didn't have to put him in there.
I'm trying to keep my team intact as much as possible and entice Milwaukee.
Can I say
Anybody in
something?
the NBA right now is going to take Josh Hart in their team. All 29.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
Are you over Josh Hart like me?
No, I am not. He pissed
Okay.
me off Indiana series. I've been talking to that nigga on the side. I've been yo, Josh. I've been your biggest fan all year. I take beatings in the chat from people I love. My guys kick my ass on the screen every night because of how much I love you, bro. You shit the bed in that Pacers series.
Flea, when you tell him that, are you also going to tell him, I also put you in the trade?
I ain't talking to him yet. I ain't talking to him yet.
Hey, listen, I love you, but I put you in the trade. But now,
I put you in the trade, big dog. I'm sorry.
Right. But all jokes aside,
What we got?
Carmel. Okay.
No, I'm just trying to catch some of the chat. I think Fabian said something, but I missed what he said.
But real quick before we move on, Carmelo Anthony said something that I love what he said. He said the Knicks. He said we don't need Giannis.
He said that.
Right. He said we just need to maybe make a few moves or just add a few pieces. What do you think is better? We add or we go get Giannis? Do you agree with Carmelo Anthony?
I think from a realistic perspective right now, we've created great chemistry. And I think if you do bring in Giannis, you have to go through that process again of creating great chemistry. So yeah, I do agree with Melo. If you ask me which one would I lean towards more, I would lean towards more filling out this roster, right? Making little tweaks, still having faith in the guys that got us all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? If we feel like the coach wasn't it, then we got to put the faith in the players now, and bring in the right coach that can handle it. So I would much rather, go after. And I think we spoke about a lot of guys the other day, right? Other guys that's out there that are options for us. I would much rather do that than gut the roster and go get Giannis, bring in a new coach, and then kind of start over. I like where we're at right now. I think some small tweaks, we could be a dominant team for sure.
What Melo said, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be honest. It depends on the pieces we add.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Brunson and Cat has the chemistry that everybody thinks.
Okay.
I don't think they get along, and that's just me from the outside looking in. I have no information, no inside information. But I told you my conspiracy theory. I think Cat got Tom Thibodeau fired. Tiz is Jalen Brunson's guy, and as we watched every game this season, I didn't see the chemistry from Cat and Brunson on the floor or off the floor. I'm just being honest, Flea.
And I feel you. So let me ask you a question then. If Cat comes in and this is his first season as a New York Knick, you believe that he was responsible or huge responsibility of getting rid of Tibbs.
Yeah.
But Brunson is our guy. How does he have that cachet over Brunson? And if he does, why the fuck would we move him if he has so much cachet for us? Why would we move him if he got our guy, if he got the coach fired?
That's a great question. So the reason why I think he has the cachet is because of the money. He's getting paid $60 million.
Okay.
Think about it. He comes here, and his first year here, we get to a conference finals. So I think that conversation with him and Dolan is in his favor. Hey man, I'm the guy. We got to the conference finals while I was here. I'm getting paid $60 million. What was going on? So I think by default, but if you want to win, and your two best players don't have chemistry, how do you get over that? Now, if Cat and Brunson over the summer mends whatever it is or figures it out, then I'm all for it. But for me, I don't think they are cool like that. Like I said, Flea, how many times have we said, what team have you ever heard in history where the two best players sometimes can't be on the floor together?
Right, that doesn't happen.
From Magic to Kareem to Mike and Scotty, LeBron and Wade, even LeBron and Kyrie. I mean, Curry, like, we've never seen that or heard that before.
Yeah,
Where you go and your bro, them guys can't be on the floor at the same time. I just feel that, you know, this thing is tricky. That's why the coach is very important. And the pieces you bring in is very important because, like you said, Fleet, no chemistry and guys not getting along. And I could be wrong, but I'm just going off of what I see. This thing can blow up in our face. So that's why I think they're being very strategic and they're taking their time because they know whoever comes in here, they're going to have to figure out Cat and Brunson being juggernauts together.
Yeah, how to make that work.
Right, with Fleet, when it comes to the best duos in the NBA, their name is not mentioned. How is that? You get what I'm trying to say? If you're the third seed, clutch player of the year, or NBA second team, Cat or NBA third team, or whatever it was, both starting all-stars, how are y'all not top 5 best duos in the NBA? Their name is not even thought about.
I think we see that if they keep Cat next year, right? If they keep him over this summer, and we go forward with, you know, predominantly the same core, right? Add some pieces. I think it's fair to judge them next season. OG, first season together, we try and figure it out. I think they did a damn good job with being able to be a third seed, make it to the conference finals with not having the chemistry that we're talking about right now. They did a damn good job with trying to figure it out, right? So I think, you know, I think next year is definitely the test, right? Next year is where we sit back and really like, all right, let me see what you guys did over the summer. Did you guys think about the fact that, hey, maybe we need to spend some time together this summer and get on the same page and, you know, discuss some of the things that we need to do? Like, let's get mature. Let's get old about this and figure out what we need to do. Cat, get off it. Yo, y'all, everybody go on their vacations and just get back quick. Let's get back in the gym quick.
But Flea, you know me, just being a stickler and just playing devil's advocate, you know, what you said was great. Like you said, being a third seed and not having the chemistry that I thought they should have had. But remember what I said before, that can be by default. We have to be careful because remember, Orlando was hurt. You know, now they're going to be back healthy. They just added a piece that can hit the three-point shot where they struggled at. Detroit gave us some problems in that first round, whether people want to believe it or not.
Sure.
You know,
they'll be better and back.
Exactly. And remember, Fleet, in the regular season, we still were struggling against bad teams. The Washingtons, the Chicago's, the Toronto's, even though we beat those teams, those were still close games. Atlanta, like I said, but if our two best guys got the chemistry and play how they supposed to play together and figure it out, we don't have those problems. So for me, I'm just saying this year, they have to figure that out because Detroit is coming back with a lot of confidence. Orlando is going to be there healthy now. Like you said, we don't care what nobody say. Philadelphia, when you look at that roster, if they're healthy, that's a stacked team, Flea.
Philly, like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to talk about what works, this don't work, that. When Embiid is playing basketball at a high level, nobody in the league. There ain't nobody in the league. So
Flea, you get what I'm going? So if your best players can't stay on the floor together and don't have chemistry and get the job done, that's a problem. So I think this year, you know, we have to figure that out. This is the one I wanted to get to before we get out of it. Then we'll discuss a little bit of the trades that went on today. We see the finals. Well, this season, Flea, we seen a lot of injuries, right? Preferably season-ending injuries where a lot of guys tore their Achilles, right? The more notable players, Dame Lillard, Jason Tatum, Game 7, Halliburton. But Jay Will.
You forget DeJounte Murray popped his Achilles this year too.
Right.
About that.
Yes, Flea. Jay Will said this season 8 players tore their Achilles. 8, right? And then Draymond Green also spoke about the injuries. Now, we know we heard a lot of players speak about the season and it's too long, too many games. But recently, Jay Will and Draymond Green spoke about a lot of the injuries and said that the players need to play less games. Before I go on my rant, Flea, how do you feel about that? 82 games. LeBron James also said a week or two ago, there
That's
needs
not
to
the
be about no, I know,
that's
but
not
I'm just saying.
dumb.
But it all ties in. He also said there needs to be a month break before the playoffs. Flea, I gotta get your opinion on this. How do you feel about former players, current players trying to blame a 82 game season for guys being injured? And do you think the season should be shortened?
I mean, there's nuance to this shit, man. There's nuance to this entire conversation. I'm old school, right? Like I'm old school. I like 82 game seasons. I like, I like going back and looking at all the players that I grew up watching. And sometimes I just go and look, how many times did he play 82? How many times did he play 82? Right? I went, chat, here's the trivia for today. Tell me the player that's played the most 82 game seasons in NBA history. Drop his name in the comments. Let me know if y'all know who that is, right? But, right, so that was almost like a badge of honor, like being out there every night, showing up to work every night. But I also think at this stage of the game, OG is a very, very different game. Like very, very different game. The pace of the game is different. The style of the game is different. And I mean stylistically with how they play, how they boogie, what they got in those bags. Everybody talks about a bag and all of that. It's true. A lot of people do these things because they want to be offensively talented. The stop and go, the herky jerky, all that kind of stuff was not very, very prevalent when I was coming up. When you were coming up, it was very, very different. Right? Some guys walked the basketball up. Some guys did the Mark Jackson, right? Half the time, Mark Jackson had his body between the ball and you half the time, whether that's coming up the court or whether that's on the three-point line or what. So what I'm just saying is the game is just different. And I think there could be a conversation had. Again, I'm still a proponent of playing 82 games, and the more games, the better, because I love basketball. But it is no surprise that guys are getting hurt, because this game is just very, very different. The wear and tear on the body is different. It's just different. They moving faster. They doing things that we didn't even fathom back in the day. And it looks nice, but the beat up and the pounding that it takes on the body is real. And if the evidence is not, apparent, we've got 8 guys in the NBA right now that have tore their Achilles. So I'm gonna let you cook. And if you are on the other side of this, if you are on the fuck out of here, they need to be playing 82 games, what is the explanation for why 8 guys in one season have gone? We've never seen this before.
So, great point, Flea, right? But my rant has nothing to do with you. My thing is this. I'm not a doctor, never was a doctor, so I couldn't. One thing y'all know me. If I don't know something, I'm saying I don't know.
For sure.
I don't know why guys are tearing their Achilles so much. I don't know. Man, listen, I barely graduated high school. I ain't got no fucking doctorate, so I don't, right? So I'm not going to act like I'm a scientist and I know, but I can go off of examples. Fast-paced play. Magic Johnson Lakers was called Showtime. Was that fast-paced? Phoenix Suns, Steve Nash, and Dan Tony. Was that fast-paced?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, we've seen through the years guys play 82 games, physical, fast-paced, and this wasn't happening. Michael Beasley, I seen, said something the other day. He said the worst thing he could have ever did was stop working out and lifting weights. He said Kobe Bryant used to tell him that. God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant. Let's think about it, Flea. These guys aren't working out anymore. They aren't practicing anymore. And I don't know if that's the reason. But for us to say 82 games is too much. Okay, cool. So are we still going to pay you $500 million? I'm being honest, Flea. These guys complain about eating caviar. These niggas complain about eating caviar. Flea, I'm gonna call it what it is. These niggas is bitches, bro. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
slow
And
down.
yeah, I'm no, Flea. A guy like Draymond Green, who's the roughest, toughest dada the NBA has ever seen.
Right.
You complaining now you want to show the season? LeBron James, who we know keeps his tip-top shape. You niggas need rest now? You have the best scientists. You fly private. The teams have their own charting. What? Back in the days, they ain't have that, and nobody was getting injured like that.
Right. But I think you said you named two teams. You named two teams. You named
Right.
the Showtime Lakers was in the NBA Finals 9 out of the 10 years in the 80s. That was the one team that was kicking everybody's ass in the Western Conference.
And niggas wasn't tearing their Achilles every fucking season.
Right.
Flea, hold on, Flea. I'm saying let's figure out what's wrong first and not assume. Did you see big shout out Cameron? It is what it is, him and Mace. And I think the young lady name is Stat. Cameron, I think on IG was like, yo, I want to get the quote right. He said, one thing with him about fashion, who is he to tell people about fashion? Because the thing now is wearing low top sneakers. He said, but I think you guys need to start going back to high tops. Kevin Durant added him and said, yo, that's not the reason these injuries are happening. So Flea, what we are assuming, we can't assume it's the style of play because we've seen the style of play before. We can't assume that it's low tops because we now have Kevin Durant saying that's not the reason. Flea, until we really know the reason, we can't just say, well, let's not play 82 games. Flea, these niggas want to get paid to do nothing.
OG, there was a stat, and I know you're not big on these numbers, but they literally came out with a stat comparing the mileage that guys played and ran in the 80s and 90s as opposed to what's happening just specifically today. These guys are running 200 more miles per season. 200 more miles on the body per season, OG. I'm just saying that whether we don't know, like you said, we don't know, but there's got to be valid reasons on why so many niggas, every time you turn around, are getting injured. At one point, a calf injury, you could treat it, stay off of it, recover, and get back to it. These niggas want to play through calf injuries and now are tearing it. The same thing that happened to Halliburton happened to Kevin Durant, right?
Right, but hold on, Flea. So now we know the reason. If you have a certain injury that leads to that, remember, listen, we applaud these guys. Big shout out Halliburton, showed him in the laying up in the doctor's joint. Get well, my brother. But you heard what he said. I would do it over and over and over again.
All over.
So if we know the reason, we can't complain if we know the reason, but we still go out and play. Flea, you got a calf injury, bro, your season is over. Wait until it fully heals. These guys are having calf injuries in game 5, and they're playing in game 6 2 nights later. And then when they get a torn Achilles, the world is going, oh my God, why is this happening so much? Let's cut the game short. Flea, if we know the reason, sit your bum ass down.
Did Dame have a calf? Was Dame suffering from a calf injury? Or was there soreness? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Every situation is isolated, right? So I hear what you're saying, right? If you injured, sit down, right? But it's game 7 of the NBA Finals. How you going to expect this dude, right? He's trying to think about what he's trying to complete. These niggas called him underrated. You got Flea calling this nigga Urkel, right? They clown. He was trying to do something that nobody's ever did, right? So,
Flea, hold on, no, hold on, Flea. This what we have to understand. I think he might have been injured the whole series. Let's be realistic, right? But we knew about the calf strain legit maybe game 4, game 5. Flea, he got lucky in game 6. You did your job. You got your team to game 7. Sit down. So you telling me you gonna play 2 games with a calf injury? Flea, he got lucky in game 6. He could have pulled his Achilles in game 6. He got lucky.
Very true.
Now you supposed to have the talk with your team. I did my job. I got us to the elimination game. I got us to win. Y'all got to bring it home now. I can't play. So for me, Fabian, what up? So for me, my
Right.
opinion, these niggas is soft. They trying to find a way to not
How you gonna
play.
call niggas that get injured soft?
No, no,
Okay,
no, no, no,
you're
no.
not calling them soft. You're calling
I'm talking
niggas
about
calling for. I got you.
right, like what Jay Will said, what Draymond said. For guys to really be like 82 games is too much. That shit is embarrassing. My thing is, so what y'all want us to just watch? We might as well don't even play the game then. Let me just watch y'all interact with each other on the court. We'll pay for that because that's all y'all want to do anyway. Fleet, come on, Fleet. 82 games. They've been playing 82 games for how many years? How many years? Nobody ever complained.
Since the inception.
Nobody ever complained until these soft MFers came into the game. Bruh, band up. Like Michael Beasley said, lift weights. You niggas don't lift weights no more. Y'all ain't practicing. Like, we have to be realistic. You niggas is running around in clubs, playing with all these broads. You ain't practicing. Y'all playing off sheer talent. Get your ass in the gym. Come
And
on,
put
Flea.
more miles on the body. Bob Cousy was smacking the ball when he was dribbling. He wasn't dribbling. He was smacking that shit around. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
What was Pistol Pete doing?
He was getting busy.
Like you said, I named one team, you named one player. He was the original. He the original. But Fabian, you in the building. Please, I want to hear your thoughts.
What up, baby?
Draymond Green and Jay Will. Short the season, too many injuries.
We talked about it the other day, man. I don't think they play enough. They don't practice. They just do drills. I don't think they. You got Gilbert Arenas was saying that, like, he used to run up and down the stadium. Michael Jordan, Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, Tim Grover is their trainer. He said, "Yo, they don't even use weights anymore like that. They just use that rubber band bullshit." There's a lot of stuff that they get away from, and I don't want to shout out this guy. I just want to let it be known that I hate his guts. Jay Will, from first of all, he went to Duke. Big mistake. Second of all, what was that shit called, AllBall?
National champion.
I can care less. You know I can care less.
Number two pick in the draft. Put respect on that man's name.
A point guard that made a lot of bad decisions. Number one. Number two. He said we need to start funding recovery science. Recovery science. We need to start funding recovery science, Flea. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know, but I think there's a valid point to what you and OG. I don't know, bro. I'm not the fuck. I'm not gonna tell you. Like, no. I know what recovery science means, right? But I don't know what he means by saying you want to start funding that shit. No, who you gonna get to put money into? Are you kidding me?
When have they not?
You're a professional. Go recover. Everybody knows how to do recovery at that level. We need to start funding that. I didn't hear that, so that's why it's surprising to me.
Right. So that in itself sounds crazy.
Yeah. No.
What do you mean start funding the recovery of a player, bro? Are you telling something on the NBA? Are you telling on them something that we don't know? I think they've been complaining about 82 games since the Bill Walton days, since the 70s. Bill Walton's one of the first guys to eat right, introduce, he was, what do you call that?
And Kareem too, though, Fabian.
Right, but Bill Walton was, but Kareem, I don't know if Kareem did it before Bill Walton or if he was remember, Kareem wasn't as vocal. Mm-hmm. Bill Walton was a hippie. That's the word I'm looking for. He was a hippie. Right. And there's a book about basketball back then that he was featured in, and Kareem wasn't talking to the media. He wasn't, we didn't know anything, but to see a guy play till 40 and, and do all that, it would require him to, take care of himself. So it's not like this is something new about the 82 games.
Right.
It might be too many games, but the way that they're getting injured, at this point, if you're running 200 miles more, as much as they want to say science this, science that, that might be part of the problem.
Hold
All
just
the
real quick.
Balco, PEDs, it ain't working.
Hold on, Fabian, just real quick. They just got some breaking news. So Kyrie Irving just declined his $43 million option, and he just re-signed 3 years, $119 million with the Dallas Mavericks.
He re-signed for what?
3 years, $119 million.
3 years.
Y'all know I'm shit at math. What is that?
That's 40 a year. A little under 40, like 39 and some change.
But he didn't want. He said that was under the market value that he was expecting.
That's why he declined. Fish was in the comments and made a great point. He corrected me, matter of fact, because I said he declined the deal. And he said no, he re-signed for a 3-year deal. And it includes a player option in 2 years, I think. And Fish made a great point. That means that Jason Kidd is staying there. There's no way Kyrie is re-signing and Jason Kidd is a question mark. I can't see that.
So for one, I disagree with that. I don't think anybody's going to sign that. Nobody's going to take Kyrie for that money. Like that has
nothing. ACL.
Right. So let's cut the jokes.
Kyrie Irving's wheels ain't. Yeah. Then he cracked his kneecap in that NBA finals, right? Like his wheels.
Right. Stop.
His wheels ain't young.
Name me another team that was going to give Kyrie his money. That has nothing to do with Jason Kidd. I'm sorry. I disagree. Big shout out Fish. He failed me for life.
Brother Fish.
Yeah, Fish. I totally disagree with that. That has nothing to do with Jason Kidd.
As always, we disagree. I like what Fish said. He makes more sense.
Okay. Well, where's Jason Kidd's extension?
Apparently, they're working on it. Like, yeah. I would think that has validity to it. We can't just exit out. He has more. Kyrie would have more intel on Jason Kidd than me, and all three of us combined. Even Fish, even though he is in Dallas, right? But so that was the breaking news.
Punk ass Fish, bring your ass down to Houston. 4 hours. It ain't far. I'll come up there first and kick your ass, but you gotta come down here and holler at me, Fish.
Tupac Flea is he's a different level, man. Tupac Flea gets triggered out of nowhere. Like this guy,
I gotta get with my guy Fish, man.
Hold on. Flea Shakur is bananas.
Did it again. Niggas did it again. Yo, real quick, we've been rocking and rolling. Do y'all have two of the three AllBall TV family was in Myrtle Beach this weekend with Kenny Anderson's second annual showcase. Do y'all want to recap that real quick for the people? Just the talent, the event, connecting with Kenny Anderson. Do y'all want to share how the weekend went? From just a fellowship and basketball perspective.
Yeah, definitely. I think AllBall froze up because that face is crazy. It was amazing. Just again, and just an honor to be around, New York City legend like that. Mm-hmm. Just to be able to have him that's number one for me. Just to be that close to someone willing to answer your questions. I'm talking about questions that I don't even think we're ready to talk about on here. Yeah. And, hopefully we get them on to really ask them because there were things that I didn't think we would discuss. And just the event itself, to be able to see, again, what star power is, right? Mm-hmm. And we always, I always refer to it and we always talk about superstars and stuff like that, but just to see a name like that carry weight for so long and attract the kids and to see them just playing basketball and setting it up like that out there in South Carolina and Myrtle Beach, Saugus High School was amazing. Shout out to everybody that was there that showed love. Shout out to Gerald Green, Seton Hall's finest. Those are things I have to learn about. Just like bumping into him, he talked about, making the championship game against Glenn Rice in Michigan. I'm like, I know who Glenn Rice is. Then he named his teammates Ice Reynolds and stuff like that.
Who was his coach at Seton Hall?
Oh, I have no idea.
PJ Carlissimo.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they made that final. They made that I think the championship game against Glenn Rice and that Michigan team.
Championship game. And just to have a guy like that attract players like that, and and again, that's what AllBall TV was about to begin with, was having those guys from the New York region. You know, I feel like I could be biased, but you know what basketball is. Everything changed for a New York City flashy style of the game, and with Steph Curry doing what he did in the last 10 years, it was like validation. Where Allen Iverson was validation. You guys have been pushing this away for some reason, hiding it for some reason. But you had Clyde Frazier there, you had Moses, Black Moses, Earl the Pearl there, Pistol Pete, right, and then Kenny Anderson is in that line. So to see that all come together, and just the hospitality is great. Down south is different. They're very nice people. In New York, you kind of gotta get around the people to get nice. And you learn a lot. Just like we're sitting there watching the kids play and everything, and then they get to meet Gerald Green, and even I didn't know who these people are, but then now they get to learn. And just in case you want to talk any smack, you got to do your research and go, oh, wait a minute, he did what?
Do your
and
homework.
it checks you.
Yeah.
You know I do, because I don't watch college ball, but it makes me want to even watch.
Stop saying that shit.
Well, Kenny got me. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna have you watching college ball." I said, "Flea been saying that." I said, "Nah, I'm gonna watch." So I said, "Yo, so what do you? How do you watch?" He goes, "Yo, just turn the TV on." And Gerald Green was like, "Yo, I love basketball, man." Like, he was guilting me. Like, I thought you loved basketball. Like, he didn't know that we say that. And it's like, I thought you loved ball.
Yeah.
So again, it was the basketball conversation. We were watching Game 7 together.
That's dope.
So it was like, yeah, it's just to be able to talk like this with them was crazy.
Fire. That's fire.
Because you see me going crazy. We were going crazy about Rudy Gobert versus Mitchell Robinson. They were like, "You think Mitchell Robinson is better than?" And I'm going crazy, like, "Yeah." Or you a fan? That's what it is. I'm like, "Yes, I am." And then we would go back and forth. So it was so dope to do it in person, because they think like we just. But then they see the love for the game, and you got to respect it at some point. Because I'm gonna start bringing up stuff. You go, wait a minute. Because they had start telling like, wait a minute, he's bringing up some stuff. Like, he calls everybody on the court. They're like, that was one game. I said, well, you ain't been watching.
Yeah.
And it's just, we appreciate that, because we're getting closer and closer to what it all is anyway, which is to have, again, to me, New York City back on the map, on the forefront. This is the Mecca.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Mecca. And to have a superstar from the Mecca, still a superstar. What he did was amazing. Go down there and just be a light for the kids to come out and bring out their light. Amazing, bro. Just amazing.
That's dope. That's dope. I was asking Fabian just about the weekend, and how it was to kick it down there with Kenny Anderson, and watch the kids develop and all of that kind of stuff.
It was my fault. My phone died. I mean, it was ill, man. It's just just to see these guys, and just to be around them and just conversate with them. It's just amazing that what those guys had to go through to get where they got. Like, think about New York City. A lot of people, if you're not from the town, the late 70s in the 80s, drug infested, kidnapping, killings, the hustle at an all-time high, and these guys, guy like Kenny Anderson, made it out of that and became the number 2 draft pick in the NBA. Guy like Gerald Green, come on, man, Brooklyn legend. Everybody know who he is. Like I said, Seton Hall, all 4 years, starting point guard, was in the national game against Michigan, lost to Glenn Rice in them. So it was amazing. It is also amazing to see like how the young men and women have no idea. And then when they hear that, they ask, you played against LeBron, you played against Kobe, you played against Mike. Yeah. So just to see their faces light up when they actually are talking in the presence of someone that played against guys that they look up to, that are their heroes. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it was ill. And also, Gerald Green, I think, is going to be in town next week or so. I'm going to try to get him on Are We Live Fleet. I'm going to try to get him up here. Yeah, right. Because he hit me today. So I'm going to see when he in town. You know, them old school dudes, it'd be hard for them to set all this stuff up.
We gonna make it work.
Get him up here so you can pick his brain, because I told you to go at that. But yeah, man, Flea, it was a great experience, man. It was a great experience. But it just goes to show you the youth, it's a lot for them to learn, man. And I just hope a lot of them is not scared to learn the history, especially if you want to be involved into the game of basketball, because what they're seeing is just a reincarnation. We've seen players like this 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Like I said, when you look at Kyrie Irving, look at a Pistol Pete Maverick. Handle, pass. So, you know what I'm saying? But it just overall, just great weekend and great experience. Miss you out there, my brother.
Yeah, for sure. We'll better time that, right? I had the time, but you know, we spoke about it already. But
yeah, you ain't gotta explain that.
We'll do that. We're gonna do that better next year.
But yeah, before we get out of here, we got some trades today. I want Fabian to get into this first because he just got up here. But we have some trades that happened today. A lot of movement going on already night before the draft. That goes to tell y'all the draft tomorrow gonna be crazy. I hope we all can get on here before the draft. Draft is at 8. Maybe we could do a little special show at 7 o'clock. But so far we got Drew Holiday traded to the Portland Trailblazers for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round draft picks. We got Jordan Poole traded from the Wizards to the Pelicans for C.J. McCollum and Kelly Olynyk. And we have the Boston Celtics is going to be the 3-team trade where Porzingis goes to the Hawks, Terrence Mann to the Nets, and George Niang to the Celtics. But to me, what makes that very interesting, the Nets tomorrow are going to have 5 first-round draft picks. Fabian, give me your thoughts on today with the NBA with Shams just breaking news after news after news with trades. What do you like? What do you dislike? And how do you feel about what's going on as far as the night before the trade deadline?
And are you still mourning? Are you still mourning Herb Jones potentially going to the Lakers? Are you mourning? That's nasty. Oh, go ahead, baby. Go.
I forgot about that until you had to remind me.
I ain't bring that up on purpose.
I know.
What's stopping
it? I know.
What's stopping the Celtics from going after him? The last rumor I saw on Twitter was the Celtics and the Heat are in talks or had discussions about trading Jaylen Brown for Bam Adebayo. The Celtics, man, yeah.
They popping it over there. They popping they popping
it. They up to something. It makes it exciting. You know, I see a lot of people complaining about David Stern would have never allowed this news to take place during the NBA Finals. Hey, yo, man, God bless the dead and everything. David Stern was not around for prime social media. Adam Silver just came out and almost confirmed the aluminum fitted theory that the only reason why Draymond Green is in the NBA is because they pay attention to Twitter and what goes viral. And Draymond Green certainly goes viral every day. And in an era like this, to be part of the news cycle every day, to have these trades, man, these are good trades too. It feels like they're cooking up for a blockbuster. Because that Luka trade already shocked us. I don't think we're going to feel something as shocking as that because Giannis is already rumored to be there. But maybe it'll be somebody that's not rumored to go. The Denver Nuggets coach had a Freudian slip and tried to say, like, yo, just in case we may have to trade Joker. Right. The owner, who's also the owner of the Denver Broncos, if I'm not mistaken, and the hockey team, if I'm not mistaken, a bunch of organizations. For them to make a mistake like that, yo, it tells me, like, yo, is Boston getting ready to get Joker? Like, yo, the Lakers are heating up, and the Celtics are saying, yo, you know what? Watch this. That, like, come on, man. And then you got the 2 Euro guys that they want to put on the forefront, but they can't What's the best way to put the 2 Euro guys in the forefront? One on the Lakers, one on the Celtics. The aluminum fitted is on, even if you don't see it. But I'm dog. What the Celtics are doing is scary, man. What the Celtics are doing is scary, man. Dog. They're shedding money right in front of our face. What else are the Celtics doing this for? You think they're doing it to watch Indiana go to the finals again? To watch the Knicks, who everybody put, number 1 seed now. Cleveland is in prime position to make another move. We keep worrying about us. We got to start looking across the landscape for teams, that have star players already in place, have a coach in place. Those guys. We have to start paying attention, man. This is looking scary, AllBall. Flea, I'm scared, man. Starting to get scared.
Hey, OG. Shit is wild when your Wi-Fi is better than Fabian's. That's when you know shit is wild. Shit is wacky out here. When your Wi-Fi is better than that, niggas, that's when you know shit is wacky. They gonna trade. They gonna trade Giannis tonight, nigga. That's how you know shit is crazy. These trades, man.
That's the aluminum fitted. That's the aluminum fitted. Remember back in the day, the aluminum 4 behind the TV. That's just fucking up my Wi-Fi.
Hey, Fleet. I'm not gonna lie. That Anthony Simons for Drew Holiday. I know a lot of people may not like it. I think I told you I'm big on, like with Wiggins. I think Golden State held on to him too long. Drew Holiday did his job. They got a championship. I think with Anthony Simons, you get younger. He's a legit guy, and they just added another shooter that you have to guard.
He's 20 a night. He's 20 a night. You replace, because Tatum is out. You replace some type of scoring. Drew wasn't 20 a night. You're gonna get a guy. My man just said to me, Anthony Simons puts up like 8 threes a game or something like that. You're gonna get a nigga that's gonna put that rock up. So
he's already man.
I like
it. And then Brooklyn added George Niang. Like I said, like people need to realize Porzingis, you wasn't getting nothing from him. He didn't do anything over there to help. Like I agree. I think the Celtics are really they being real sneaky, and we a lot of teams in the East better be careful to just write them off like that.
It's amazing. It's amazing how they can like retool in real time, right? Tatum is down. Tatum ain't gonna play at all next season. And they could just retool. Okay, Drew is a little older, 35 years old. It's a heavy deal. That deal we could get off of that. We bring in Simons, probably 10 years younger. Fits what we do already in terms of putting up 3-point shots and being able to get downhill. You get a lot more athletic at that position. So now what are you rolling out? Simons, White, Brown. Now other guys get elevated roles, right? So now Sam Hauser, now Peyton Pritchard. All of these guys' roles start to elevate now as you start making all these kinds of moves. So, Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett, is he the starting center for them next season? Right? Like what is that?
He did a hell of a job.
Did a hell of a job in the playoffs, but
his stocks definitely went up.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Boston little sneaky motherfuckers. They getting it done over there right now.
Fabian, tomorrow night.
What do you think about? Remember the last time Drew Holiday got traded to Portland, he was traded immediately. Is someone looking to bolster their roster with Drew Holiday? Is that still a sneaky move? Because I know he's older, but he still has that championship DNA in him, as they say in the internet.
I think he's not going to stay in Portland. I think that was a piece for Portland to move to probably get another piece so they can, because of course they're going to be forever in rebuild. But I don't think he's going to stay in Portland. I think he's still a guy that can help you win a championship. A la if you could get him over there with the Lakers or with the Knicks. I still think he's a very viable piece to a team. But It's. Let me ask you this real quick. The Nets. I'm hearing that Ace Bailey. They saying the Nets, got all those draft picks. They're gonna probably move up in the draft. Are y'all looking forward to the draft? Do y'all think this draft is as stacked as everybody's making it out to be? And who do y'all think is just going to come right in and be a good player? Or is a lot of these guys is going to take a lot of time?
Me and Flea agree about Dylan Harper. He
Best
just
player in the
looks
draft.
Best player.
Best player in the draft to me right now. Like Cooper Flag is good, but for me, it's like this stuff that he got to prove to me on the pro level. I think Dylan Harper's game is pro ready. Obviously, he's got to get exposed to it and all that. But just from my eyes, what I see, Dylan Harper for me is probably the best out of the top 5 guys.
But does it get deeper than that? Because that's a bold statement. Does it get deeper than Dylan Harper? Is Edgecombe in this?
Edgecombe is going to go top 5. Harper's going to go top 5. Flag is going to go top 5. There's a shooter coming out of Texas. That's really, really good.
What's your man? You sent me from? Was it from Michigan? Or remember you sent me the video to watch? The white kid that was he can handle really well. He doesn't jump out.
Boy from Michigan. He's tough. The white boy's tough. I don't know. We might be stretching right now. I don't know if he's gonna go lottery. Like he may go late first round.
Right. But AllBall's question is, how deep is this draft? And sometimes you just look at we're not going to have a 96 draft again. Unless all these French guys from last year turn out to be something amazing through the roof. 96 draft is just untouchable.
There's some drafts that I think we don't even, like, look at that 22 draft. Just go look at the 22 draft right now.
Yeah. Paolo.
And we only 3 years removed from them. And we talking about Chet. Yeah. Chet is a champion. Jalen Williams, both of them got drafted the same Williams. They already champions.
Yeah.
You said Paolo. I'm missing a couple guys, but like that 2 draft is a damn good draft.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then, but sometimes it's the other guys. Because like I said, the French guys, we don't even know who's going to be great, man. We just don't. Like Wemby still has to work himself into what we think is going to be, I think he has that gene in him. It looks like he wants to be great. Dylan Harper looks like he wants to maximize his potential. I'm a little worried about Rutgers being, what they were. But AllBall, I will say this about Ace Bailey. Say what you want about LeBron, whatever you stand on that. I think it's undeniable what LeBron and these guys felt like when you saw them play in high school, let alone college. There's something to these people. Even Jay Will, I shitted on Jay Will earlier. Jay Will was amazing in college, man. That was must-see TV. Duke was must-see TV, bro. So, and he led the way. I know Boozer was there. Elton Brand was right there before that.
It's a hell of a team.
Yes, but how many? I think Dylan Harper shows some of that. I'm seeing maybe not the same play style, but D'Angelo Russell, when I saw him in the same draft as Porzingis in Summer League, if I'm not mistaken, just the way he moves, I'm like, that kid is a pro. And with Dylan Harper, I feel the same way. The way he gets to his spots, is athletic. Like, yo, that kid is a pro, man. There's no way around this.
What?
Yeah.
Let me just snowball at it, piggyback, right? Dylan Harper is the best player in the draft. I've watched this kid for the last 2 years, and he's never let me down once. Against his peers, he dominates. I watched Cooper Flag struggle. Like I said, I've been to all of these games, and Dylan Harper, he's ready-made. Let's not forget who his father is. So that means he's been having pro training his whole life. It's no coincidence that every time I seen him play Fabian against high school players, 30, light, get to a spot, 3-point shot, get to the basket. So for me, I'm going to be honest. If I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I don't need Cooper Flag if I got AD, Lively, and they just re-signed, what's my guy? Dallas just re-signed? Gafford. I'm gonna be honest. they missing a legit 2 guard. Klay Thompson is, over the hill. Listen, you got Kyrie in the backcourt with dealing with Harper.
I gotta push back because Cooper Flagg's potential is higher than Dylan Harper's. And then also, it's easier for a big man rookie season, usually, than the smaller guards, unless you are, like, if Dylan Harper turns out to be Iverson, like Kyrie rookie year, to me, was stellar. The way he gave it to OKC, Russell Westbrook and them boys, you kidding me? The game went on them, loved it. That All-Star game, amazing. Is Dylan Harper quite that? I don't know.
This. Watch this. I don't mean to cut you off. Watch this. Dallas Mavericks, don't make the same mistake the Golden State Warriors made. And I'm not saying that Cooper Flagg is going to be James Wiseman. I'm not saying that. Right? But Golden State Warriors had an opportunity to draft LaMelo Ball, and they didn't.
Regular weed.
You draft. No, Flea, my point is you draft the best player.
I got you. All right.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Dallas Mavericks should draft the best player in the league, not who everybody else wants them to draft. There's no knock to Cooper Flagg, but I think they should take Dylan Harper.
I foresee Dylan Harper being a San Antonio Spur and them having a dynamic young core of Harper, Castle, Wemby.
Hold on, can I ask y'all a question? Hold on.
Hey,
hold on. Flea, who fits better than San Antonio? Dylan Harper alongside Wemby or Cooper Flagg?
Dylan Harper.
Me, Dylan Harper. I'm going
easily.
Okay.
I'm going
easily.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay.
They're missing a point guard like that. I know Chris Paul left and everything, but Devin Vassell is not quite that. Devin Vassell is
De'Aaron Fox kind of over there.
Oh, I forgot about De'Aaron Fox. Wow. Oh my God. If they get Dylan Harper, they might do. Yo, you know what, Flea? I laughed at you the other day when you said they're gonna make the playoffs. Damn, that's a playoff team.
Oh, you was laughing at me too?
Yes, I was laughing at you. I forgot De'Aaron Fox is there.
Okay.
Wemby's coming back. Nah, Sohan's second season. I'm sorry, Flea.
Okay.
I humbly apologize. Humbly apologize. That
He pushed me back off the ledge. The nigga didn't even let me jump the way I wanted to jump. OG told me, no, I ain't gonna let you do that.
Fox never played with this much talent. This is gonna be crazy. They get Dylan Harper. Now you got somebody that can push the ball with Fox.
Dylan Harper and Castle might push Fox the fuck out of there. They might push him out of there. They gotta pay him. Fox gotta get paid. If they don't, they'll control those two. They'll control those two younger players before they have to jump out there and pay Fox. Shitting me? A Harper and Castle backcourt.
Yo, watch this. Hold on.
It's not nothing against Fox, but come on,
Fabian. I need you to clip this. Here's what I think should happen tomorrow. No, this ain't gonna be nothing crazy. Because I disagree with y'all. I think San Antonio has enough guards. I think Dylan Harper should go to Dallas. I think Cooper Flagg together with Wemby, that's your future for the next 15 years, right? I think Cooper should go to San Antonio, and here go the kicker. The Philadelphia 76ers trade their pick to the Brooklyn Nets for all of their picks so that Ace Bailey can go to the Brooklyn Nets at the number 3. And then now Philadelphia has 5 first-round picks. And they still have Embiid, Maxey, Paul George, and they can flip Paul George. Where my GM had it? Hey, Fleet, give me a job, man.
Give me a job. Give me a fucking job.
But even if that's such a great, I never would even thought of that. I would have never thought of that. But it reminds you that Dallas, Philly, and then I don't think any team in the history of sports has been in the same position as OKC. You win a championship and look like you can win the next 5 because The amount of draft picks that they have is crazy. You got young talent there. You can go, you know what? Hey, Chat, you a little injury prone, man. Off you go. Here's a couple draft picks. Let me get Giannis. Let me get Joker. They could do whatever they want right now. OKC is loaded. So Philly might have to do that.
And they won. That's
And
the
they
other
won.
thing. That's the other thing, Fabian. Like that's the sauce, right? They had the juice. Remember, I explained juice and sauce to y'all. They had the juice first, but now these niggas got the sauce. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey, Fleet, think about it.
Which shelf are they on? Which shelf are they on the fridge? They in the front or the back of the shelf?
Well, like I said, the sauce, it all depends on whose crib you at. If I come to your crib, do you keep barbecue sauce in the fridge or the cupboard? Hurry up, tell me.
Me, I keep barbecue sauce and ketchup outside, baby bubba. I don't play them games.
Everybody operates different. OG, if you got barbecue sauce and ketchup in the crib, is it going in the fridge or is it going in the cupboard or outside?
Hold on, let me ask these bitches. Yo, I don't know, man. I don't cook. Listen, I don't cook.
Yeah.
You don't need to cook with.
Hey, that's for the ladies back there. You know what I mean? I don't cook. Listen, ask them.
Yo, Flea.
I'll put them on screen one day.
You need to get your sister up in there, man.
Yo, this nigga is crazy. Nigga said, let me ask him.
Hey, look. He said, hey, y'all keep the ketchup and barbecue sauce where? Yeah, I don't know what that shit is.
I don't know what that shit
is. Where you keep it at, please?
Just make sure the food is hot and good.
Right. So I ain't gonna front. The ketchup goes in the fridge. The barbecue sauce goes in the cupboard. That's how I do it.
I hate cold ketchup. Go ahead, old boy. I'm sorry.
OG don't give a fuck.
We out of here. Yeah, we out of here on that note. We talk about ketchup and all the cold ketchup. Listen.
We were talking about sauce because we got the sauce.
Can y'all please tell me? Because sometimes I think I'm the smartest person in the world. I really think I'm right. Can y'all think about my analogy? How do y'all really feel about it? If I can spend 30 seconds on it. Philadelphia would now have the 8th pick along with 4 other draft picks where now they can really do something with Philly. I think Dylan Harper fits better in Dallas. And I told you, if you could get Cooper Flag with Wemby, I think that's the move. And like I said, the Nets trade up to get that 3rd, take all them 5 draft picks. Philly, they moved down to 8. They got 5 picks. They still got the young man that Fabian like from Duke. He's coming back off the injury. They got Maxey. They got Embiid. They got Paul George. I think this draft, if teams do it right, Flea and Fade, listen, this season could be very special. Very special.
Cooper Flag going to San Antonio will be crazy. Like, there's the potential for him because he's lived up to most expectations, I would think. He's the consensus, like you say, the national consensus player of the year. Is that how you say it, Flea? AllBall?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Him in San Antonio will be so crazy because now you got 2 young guys, high flyers. Darren Fox going down court could throw it to either one of them. He's supposed to be a really great defender, but I think he needs, we got to see him on the NBA level, at least in the summer league first. For Philly to do that, bro, I don't know if they get all 5 draft picks, but just the fact that they would drop off just to make a pick like that and go and put some fear in us because they don't want the draft pick. Do they really need that? You know what I'm saying? So I just never thought about that. So that was amazing, Fleet. What do you think?
I think Philly adding a young player in this draft at the top of this draft could be vital for them. Like where they at right now? They got the 4th pick or the 3rd pick? Where they at?
I think the 3rd, 4. Right? 4?
Is San Antonio? What is it? I forget the order right now.
It's Dallas.
It's Dallas.
I thought it was Dallas, San Antonio, and I thought it was Philly. No.
Okay.
I think Philly has the 3rd pick. So
right.
So what I'm saying is that Edgecombe or Bailey to Philly just continues to bolster them. Like we forget that McCain is coming back, right? We forget how quick he got hurt early. He'll be back next season. Maxey, obviously, we
Fib, you can hear me?
Yeah. Oh, I thought because sometimes you go out like that.
Oh no. He
Yeah,
froze. I didn't want to say nothing. I was waiting to see if it would come back
yeah,
on.
me too. I think another great point is like the more I think about it, the way you said it, either way, I gotta flip this back to you because it is a great deal for them to do that, right? But either way, if they do either or keep the pick or go trade it for more picks, what do you think that means for Joel Embiid in Philly then? If because that means you're straight up going younger, right?
No, I don't think it means that. Like, no, I think Joel Embiid healthy is still a guy that can get you the title. But think about, like I said, to me, the person that don't fit, or I don't know what some of him is Paul George. So now think about if you Philly, you got 5 first-round picks. You can flip that with Paul George, and oh my God, look, imagine what you can do with that. Or, or you keep Paul George, and you got 5 first-round picks. It's a plethora of guys you can get. It's some guys you could probably trade to get with some of those picks. I just think teams tomorrow really need to do what's best for them. Like I said, I don't think San Antonio needs more guards. I don't think Dallas needs more bigs. I understand Cooper Flag, but to me, just imagine I think Dallas needs more guards. Klay Thompson is at the end of his road. So for me, just imagine you get another legit big right alongside of Wembanyama. Insane. He's coming right in starting. Now you got 2 young guys that you can build around for the next 10, 15 plus years. You got De'Aaron Fox. So for me, I just think that's it with Philly. They don't need Ace Bailey. You got Paul George. Now, if you're gonna get rid of Paul George, you gotta remember now Ace Bailey, you gotta slide. Remember, Philadelphia, that's championship or bust. If everybody's healthy, you have the former MVP, you have Maxey, who's a stud. So now Ace Bailey he gotta come in and he gotta produce ASAP. Now I think
Or
Ace Bailey should go to. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, are you sold on Ace Bailey? Is this worrying you that he's
Ace Bailey is tough. Yeah, I like Ace Bailey. Yes, I think
okay?
the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, a New York team, Brooklyn especially needs a superstar. They need a guy that's gonna come in and fill the seats. They need Ace Bailey. That 8th pick, that's too low. That's too low for them. I think
But
Ace
what
Bailey
I
could be
what
the
I
guy for
mean is,
Brooklyn.
but right, but going back to like what I said about LeBron and even Kyrie rookie season, Kevin Durant rookie season. When Kevin Durant, I saw a lot of Kevin Durant's was only season in Texas. I don't watch college ball like that, but I just happen to be watching. I'm like, who the hell is this new T Mac dude? He
Yeah,
looks
but I'm not.
crazy.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm saying, have we seen that from Ace Bailey on top of the fact that he's turning down interviews and meetings? Does that mean
well,
anything? Because it seems to be split down the middle with these players and media members.
let's be honest. None of these guys is Kevin Durant in college,
Right.
right? So not Cooper, not Harper, as great as those guys are, none of them are. Why Ace Bailey did what he did, I don't know. But I know for a fact the Brooklyn Nets, that 8th pick is too low. They need a top 3 pick so they can start putting butts in the seats. Straight up and down. I think Ace Bailey is the guy. I think Ace Bailey needs to go to Brooklyn. I don't think he needs to be in none of those top 3 teams. And if I'm Philly, I'm trading that pick because now, remember, Philly doesn't need much. They just got to stay healthy. But now you got 5 first-round picks. Man, listen, you got the pick of the litter.
I gotta make I guess a bold stance on this then, because the way you just put that, it made me feel even stronger about what I believe with Ace Bailey. It's a lot of raw talent. I don't know if I've seen superstar work ethic, superstar effort. Um, and also the fact that you just said that to bring him to Brooklyn, make him basically be the face of the franchise, a young kid like that. He he didn't do it for Rutgers. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think he's a top 5, top 3 like standout. I think he's a roll of the dice superstar that we've seen before, that we've heard about. I don't think he's gonna be to be that. You gotta be all. Do you see him being an all-star?
So, yeah, eventually down the line, he's that good of a talent. You got to remember, Dylan Harper ain't have a great season, bro. Some of these guys, they know they going to the league. Some guys are just going to college because they have to, bro. Like, let's be realistic. Dylan Harper ain't have a great season, but we know what his talent is. Ace Bailey is just as talented. Trust me, just as talented. Some of these guys, they just had to play that first year because you have to. Some of these guys, if they didn't have to go to college, they'd be going right out of high school, bro. Bailey and Harper would have went right out of high school. Cooper Flack, right out of high school. The young man in BYU, I know he's coming up this year to go to college, but a lot of these guys be coming right out of high school. Ace Bailey is the truth. Now, I don't know his work ethic because I don't know him. But if I'm going off for talent, he's just as talented as those guys. It's just who's going to work hard enough and put it together properly to where it shows on the court. But no, I think this draft, a lot of teams have an opportunity to fill their voids. And the Brooklyn Nets have an opportunity to fill a void. Think about it. They don't have nothing over there. This is New York. Brooklyn. You don't have no attraction. So, like I said, for me, this draft tomorrow, I'm locked in. I'm getting my rest. I'm locked in because it's a lot of moves that's going to be made. It's going to be some blockbuster moves. It's going to be some moves that's going to be like, what the hell was that? I told you, I think the Golden State Warriors, that was a sign. Big mistake. You picked the best player in the draft. Cooper Flag may have all the hype. He's not the best player in the draft. The best player who's ready right now is Dylan Harper. And what does the Dallas Mavericks need? They need a shooting guard. Klay Thompson should not be a starting shooting guard. What does San Antonio need? Another big that can be right alongside with Wembanyama. That's Cooper Flag. Like I said, Cooper's he's gonna have to fight for minutes over those big men over there. You got AD, you got Lively. Like, come on, bro. And for me, Philly, they don't need much. They just gotta stay healthy. So, like I said, if Ace Bailey go over there, what are you doing with Paul George? So I think this thing could be very nice. I think everybody can get what they want. That's just me. That's just me. But for me, if I'm Dallas, I'm not taking Cooper Flag.
Keep it going, AllBall. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab the computer because we gotta read the super chats because I can't see it on my phone right now. I'm gonna snatch that up. Keep it rolling.
All right, so hurry up before we get out. All right, 2 minutes. Yeah, so I mean, for me, y'all, big shout out everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all, love y'all. But that's just me. I think tomorrow the draft. Listen, it's a lot of good players. I think a lot of teams can make some great moves, and help themselves out. But yeah, I would love. How do y'all think? How do y'all feel about what I said? I think Dylan Harper should be the #1 draft pick. I think he will fit seamlessly with Dallas. And then he has a mentor in Kyrie Irving. Now you have a dynamic backcourt. Like I said, Cooper Flag with the San Antonio Spurs. Just imagine him and Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox. There go your big three. That's it. And they have a plethora of young players over there. Vassell Castle. Like, to me, that will make San Antonio. I think that move is San Antonio getting into the playoffs. Now, to me, San Antonio, I'm putting them over like the Memphis Grizzlies and shit like that. The Phoenix Suns. I think they hop right over those type teams. And then for me, the Brooklyn Nets get Ace Bailey. Philadelphia 76ers get 5 first-round draft picks. Now, Philadelphia can just revamp. You have Embiid, you have Maxey, you have McCain, you still have Paul George, you still have Uber. You still have guys, even though Uber is a free agent. But listen, I think if this thing is done right, man, listen, this shit is going to be exciting. That's just me, though, y'all.
Listen, man, appreciate y'all. Definitely in the super chat in the building. King Speech, he said, that's what he was saying earlier, that he renewed his membership with us. King Speech, always love my brother. Y'all, what would y'all give up to try and get Dante back?
I don't know. Maybe we'll discuss that in a couple days. I don't know. I mean, what? Give up Deuce and Kolek or some shit like that? I don't know. I'm not giving up none of the starters. I'll tell you that much. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, not at
I
all.
don't
Oh,
know.
got my t-shirt. Todd Black, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. He copped the They Scared But I'm Not t-shirt that's available in the description, y'all. They Scared
Hey,
But
hey,
I'm
no,
Not.
hold on,
Go
hold on,
get
hold
you
on.
one,
Hey,
man.
everybody that has the t-shirts, please follow us on Instagram, right? And DM us a picture with y'all on the t-shirt so we could, know what I mean? Uh, post it so we can show y'all love and show people that y'all out here showing love and buying a t-shirt. So please, Top Black and everybody that has bought a t-shirt, follow us on Instagram, AllBall TV, All We Live Fleet, Fabian Perspective, and take a picture with you with the t-shirt so we can post you, man, please. But appreciate it. Thank you.
1,000,000%. Oh, boy, come on, man. Just in case he ain't play the drops. Just in case he ain't play the drops. Yo, man. All ball. Please, thanks for holding it down. You know, he had to run about that time. Fish, what up? What? Can I chamois my whip with the t-shirt? No, Fish. What's wrong with you? Get out of here.
Fish, what up, Fish? Tomorrow, I don't know how busy my brother's gonna be, but tomorrow, uh, we live, 8 o'clock. I'm doing the draft. I hope my brothers will be there, but I'll go live for the first round of the draft because I know it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be some trades, like how I did. Remember how I did the trade deadline? We gonna do the draft like that tomorrow. So everybody tune in, get them comments. We gonna be engaging. Listen, we gonna be live while the draft going on. That's gonna be in real time. It's going down. AllBall TV tomorrow. We doing the draft tomorrow with y'all. So please show love and pull up.
Lock in with us, baby. The NBA draft is tomorrow. We don't know what the hell the Knicks are doing. They're driving us crazy every day. Trust me, guys. As much as anxiety as y'all. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. is the NBA draft. But more importantly, 8 p.m. is AllBall TV Live. Kidding me, suckers? Good night.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
Deja un like comentario.
Y suscribe.